As a dual derby and Australian Guineas winner, Hitotsu is continuing the great legacy of Japanese blood here in Australia, crossed with our colonial families. And his barnmate, Admire Mars, is doing a great job with his first foals already flying on the racetracks in his native Japan. John, again a superb day here at Arrowfield Stud, and what an exciting time it's been, I guess, over the last few weeks right around the country. Stallion parades and a great opportunity to welcome people to see not only the stallions but some new foals as well.
Absolutely, we've been getting some lovely foals already this season, quite a few a little bit earlier than expected. But it's a great time of year, and it's terrific to be able to welcome our friends and clients to the Stallion Parade over this weekend.
Well, in particular, we want to talk about Hitotsu, of course, such an exciting time with his first foals arriving. And looking at him here, he's just such a fascinating horse as a dual derby winner. Of course, won an Australian Guineas over a mile, but he has a real, not a sprinter's physique, but he's not like your archetypal stayer, is he?
Well, he's not, but look, he was a talented 2-year-old, Hitotsu, and that's what actually brought him to the attention of Kieran Maher and his clients. He ran some really stunning races in the Blue Diamond Prelude, and then the Blue Diamond, and then the Size Produce. And it was after that that Kieran Maher saw the prospects of the horse, and they acquired an interest in it for their clients and raced it with Kevin Payne. And it was thereafter that he turned into a Guineas and Derby horse. But he was definitely a horse that showed a lot as a 2-year-old. I mean, of course, he's out of a Reduced Choice mare. It doesn't surprise you, therefore, that he would have. But looking at him, yeah, I agree. He's a really compact, well-coupled horse, and we're seeing that in the handful of foals that we've had so far.
Here's Hitotsu, though, finishing at a rate of knots.
And we know in Australia, obviously, derby winners, sometimes people can say, look, they're very dour sort of stayers. But he's a very special animal in the fact that he won the 2 derbies and then, of course, as I said, had the turn of foot to win the Guineas. But that's quite an accolade, isn't it, in global breeding, a dual derby winner?
Absolutely. I mean, anywhere else in the world, I suppose, it's something that everyone strives for. But I think here now, people are acknowledging that horses that have got that element of stamina as well, to that extra string to their bow, are becoming important stallions. I mean, we're seeing it with horses like Savabeel and So You Think, and these sorts of horses that are very versatile, and they're capable of getting horses that will sprint, but also horses that are competitive in all the middle distance races as well. And obviously we've got so much prize money and Group 1s that are on offer in that 1600 to 2400 metre bracket. That's where really it's there's more prize money than any other distance range. So look, I think there's a niche for those sorts of horses, particularly the ones that have got class, have got a turn of foot, they're weight for age type horses as well as classic horses. And Hitotsu fits into that category.
It certainly does. And of course, to now see, Hitotsu with his own foals, this is something that's been going for generations. This sort of access to the Japanese blood here at Arrowfield.
Yes, it's something that we started back 25 years ago, initially with Sunday Silence, sending mares to him Southern Time, and then obviously we did the same thing with Deep Impact. And now our association with Northern Farm, Katsumi Yoshida and his family. We've bred a number of good horses in partnership. I like Hitotsu. Morris is an incredibly versatile horse, and we hope Hitotsu will be, similarly as good.
And of course, the extra little sort of emotional factor here, and the fact of it, is, as you said, out of a Reduced Choice mare.
Of course, you've got Zoostar, who's also out of a Reduced Choice mare, doing so well as a stallion. In breeding to Reduced Choice, he's becoming a very positive nick, and we see that as one of the advantages of a horse like that.
And as you mentioned, Reduced Choice in the foals. So we can see, obviously, Hitotsu, he's really stamping them already.
What we've had so far we really like. They're well grown, got a good depth to them, good bone, attractive horses. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see at the end of the season when we get sort of a really good quorum of foals on the farm and analyse them. But early stages, yeah, very impressed.
And it was so great to see Admire Mars back here. It's quite extraordinary the start that he's had in Japan with his offspring on the track.
He's really started all guns blazing. They're very excited about them in Japan. Katsumi in particular made mention of the fact that they're really high on the horse, and he was very keen for us in our mare venture here to use the horse heavily, which we're intending to do. They're showing great versatility. I mean, he had a winner only last weekend over 1,200 metres by 3 or 4 lengths that ran 1.9 flat, which is great time, but they're also winning over as they do in Japan, you know, over 1,600-1,800 metres. He's got a filly there called Embroidery who looks very impressive. Very unlucky at her first start, ran second, flying home, went to a race, was 10-1 on in that, won by 7 lengths and broke the 2-year-old track record. So they look like they've got big things ahead of them. Of course, he was champion 2-year-old himself, so it's no great surprise. But he's already had 6 winners and it's still only August. Early for their racing up there, but bodes well for the season down here. They're in good stables. It was just the individuals that the trainer saw that appealed to them. And of course, when they look at his record and look at him, analyse it a little bit, they said, well, why wouldn't this horse make a sire? And of course, they weighed in and paid up for them. We're hearing good things about them. The horses that are in training look like they might even be up for the early trials. When he was a champion 2-year-old and unbeaten himself and a Group 1 winner, anything can happen. You can mate any of those Danehill line mares to him, and they're the ones that we've probably seen are leaving the more attractive foals. He's a horse that's you know, got good leg about him and plenty of scope, as Japanese horses often do. That's the Sunday Silence line. They tend to be the ones that so far we've seen sell well, and probably the ones that are in the stables that are up and running at this stage.
And an exciting time, of course, for Arrowfield on the track too. We've seen some fantastic successes already. Autumn Glow was fantastic, and so many of your sires are really kicking goals as we head into the big Group 1s too. So a lot to look forward to here at Arrowfield.
A lot to look forward to, yes. It was a great weekend with Autumn Glow, and it's been a great time here, and we look forward to 2024-25.